Ezra Miller's PR team has their work cut out from them. The We Need to Talk About Kevin star went from being an indie icon, a queer icon, and an actor who showed the world you can be a bit quirky and still make it big in Hollywood. Unfortunately, Miller went from having a page 6 feature in the news to making headlines, and not for being admirable. Today, we're taking a look back at some of the controversy surrounding Miller, shocking leaked footage, and the rumors surrounding the Jersey native. So let's get started. The Ezra Miller we knew and loved. Ezra Miller started their career as the troubled high school student Robert for Antonio Campos's 2008 film After School. The film garnered widespread interest. There's a new kid on the block, and their name is Ezra Matthew Miller. With subsequent blockbuster hits, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, We Need to Talk About Kevin, and their upcoming portrayal as Flash in the highly anticipated DC Films feature, The Flash, Miller was well on their way to become the world's next queer icon, breaking the usual queer best friend narrative. However, the 2020s ushered in a new Ezra Miller, one who was caught on camera assaulting a fan at a bar in Iceland, accused of throwing loud parties and disrupting the peace, and most recently, grooming an 18-year-old. The prediction that Miller would be on everyone's radar in 2020 came true, albeit it was lost in translation along the way. Here's what the once lovable child star has been up to since their fall from grace. Miller might be banned from Iceland. Is Ezra Miller really banned from Iceland? Well, not yet, but based on what Reddit users from the Nordic island, they might as well be. In April of 2020, production for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, The Secrets of Dumbledore, had temporarily halted after the novel coronavirus pandemic. Miller spent his time off renting an Airbnb in Iceland. Scratch that, Miller rented out what he called a spiritual sanctuary. According to the Trainwreck actor, the Airbnb provided food and lodging for actors, musicians, and spiritual healers. Miller forgot to mention the third amenity, drugs. According to a report published by Variety, Miller caused quite the storm. Their crib was known for throwing loud parties, hosting underage teens, and causing disruption in the neighborhood. The news, however, didn't make it to mainstream media. Kudos to Miller's publicist. The news was contained besides a handful of people calling out the actor on Reddit. Even if you managed to read up on a story or two of the actor's partying in Reykjavik, you probably didn't know this. An 18-year-old woman claiming a 6-day sexual relationship with Miller accused the actor of several verbal altercations. You're not the only one who hadn't heard of the allegations levied against the actor in Iceland. However, you might recall one particular incident. Pause the video right now and comment down below, which incident are we referring to? Footage surfaces of Miller assaulting female patron. In April of 2020, a video featuring Ezra Miller started making rounds on the internet. The video featured Miller standing next to a woman and repeating, "Oh, you want to fight? Tell me, do you want to fight?" The video was only 7 seconds long and appeared playful up until the 5-second mark. The woman being addressed laughingly takes on a fighting stance, and it seems like it's fun and games, until Ezra Miller grabs her by the throat and slams her to the ground. The person behind the video lets out a loud, "Bro!" before the video ends. Bro indeed. A source close to Miller spoke to Variety about the incident, claiming that Miller acted in self-defense. According to the source, the actor was minding their own business at Priko Cafeo, a bar in Iceland where a group of hecklers began chasing after Miller. The source went on to claim that the woman in the 7-second clip had instigated the altercation. "We don't condone violence, but we don't condone heckling a celebrity patron either." But that's Miller's side of the story. A post on Reddit titled, "Ezra Miller Chokes and Slams Woman in Iceland Bar" revealed another narrative. The post was supposedly uploaded by a friend of the woman in the clip, who was also there during the altercation. According to the user, the woman struck up a conversation with Miller, who had approached her and her party at the bar. They had a nice, cordial conversation for a while, and everything seemed to be going well. Then Miller had one drink too many. Miller apparently began threatening fellow patrons at the bar. "Oh, do you want to fight?" wasn't a question. It was a statement. Fellow Icelanders commented on Miller's behavior, the partying, the drugs, and the noise complaints. Iceland wanted Miller out. Miller moves on to Hawaii. After single-handedly becoming the most hated American in Iceland, Miller decided it was time to go tropical. In 2022, reports of Miller's aggressive nature threats and all sorts of delirious antics began surfacing from Hawaii. Miller was even arrested. This is how the story goes. Miller meets a friendly couple at the farmer's market. They get to talking, and Miller persuades them to let them stay with him. That night, the three of them head over to a bar where history repeats itself. Miller swings a chair at a woman. Why? Well, apparently, the woman had been singing a karaoke version of Shallow that didn't get a yes from the actor. They then picked up a chair and swung it at the woman. Simultaneously, Miller got into a heated argument with the man playing darts in the background. Miller was arrested shortly thereafter, but the couple from before put up a $500 bail for their friend, and the actor was released. Keep watching, you'll understand why we use the term friend this cautiously. Miller goes back to the couple's hotel room belligerent. They threaten the couple, presumably with a weapon, and threaten to bury the two of them. The actor allegedly stole the man's wallet, which contained important information. The wallet has not been recovered. The couple, however, did not press charges. With Miller's violent tendencies, it's hard to imagine they've never been arrested and formally charged. But Lady Justice caught on eventually. On August 7th of 2022, Ezra Miller was charged with felony burglary. The few times Miller had to spend a night in holding. The actor, who became an overnight sensation with their leading role in After School, also their film debut, has had quite a few brushes with the law, yet has somehow evaded arrest. But that's probably because charges were never levied against them, per se. Before we get into Miller's most recent arrest, let's take a look back at the few times they've had to spend the night in holding. Back in 2012, Miller had to spend the night in holding after they were found carrying a sheet's worth of marijuana with them. Police had pulled over the actor for a broken taillight. 2012 was also the year Miller went from being a renowned name in the indie industry to becoming one in mainstream Hollywood. They had just wrapped up filming of The Perks of Being a Wallflower, playing Emma Watson's charismatic but somewhat odd queer stepbrother. Miller was cited for disorderly conduct, but was ultimately released with a slap on the wrist. No, seriously, Miller managed to convince the judge it was a first-time offense and therefore warranted leniency. Reports suggested that the presiding judge gave Miller a stern talking to and then let them go. The next time, however, Miller wasn't so lucky. Police in Hawaii had received over 10 complaints of the actor in their short stay. When the 11th complaint rolled in, that is the incident with the chair and Lady Gaga's unreplicable song, police arrested Miller. They made it out on bail the next day. On August 7th, however, Miller had run out of luck. Police arrested the American native after finding that they had broken into a home and stolen alcohol. Miller was booked for felony burglary. Ezra Miller might be running a cult. Here's something straight out of an episode of America's Most Wanted. Ezra Miller has been accused of running a cult. We need to establish preface here. In August of 2022, Vermont State Police received a complaint from a Stamford native who claimed Miller had broken into their home and stolen bottles of alcohol. After running through surveillance footage and corroborating witness testimonies, Vermont State Police had probable cause to arrest Miller on felony burglary charges. Here's the twist. Vermont State Police had already been at Miller's heels. Police had been trying to tie Miller to a case involving coercion and trafficking. Reports suggested that Miller had a family of 4, a woman and her 3 children aged between 5 and 1, held at their home ranch in Vermont. With the felony burglary charge, the police were able to obtain a warrant to search Miller's property. The particulars of the case haven't been made public as of yet, but we have heard rumors, some pretty terrifying ones actually. For example, one source claimed that the 1-year-old child at Miller's home ranch had found a loose bullet and held it in his mouth for a good while before anyone took notice. Here's what we can confirm. Miller's ranch was no place for kids. The ranch doubles as an unlicensed cannabis farm and houses hundreds of firearms. It was also the supposed site of Miller's alleged cult. We have to be careful with our words here. Miller has not yet been found guilty of running a cult. Ezra Miller apologizes. On August 15th, 2022, 1 week after Miller was arrested for felony burglary, Miller made a statement. Having recently gone through a time of intense crisis, I now understand that I am suffering complex mental health issues and have begun ongoing treatment, Miller says. I want to apologize to everyone that I have alarmed and upset with my past behavior. I am committed to doing the necessary work to get back to a healthy, safe, and productive stage in my life. Here's Public Relations 101. Never apologize unless you're acknowledging your wrongdoing. Now, with one case or two, an apology would have been enough to sweep it under the rug. In Miller's case, or in their multiple cases, an apology is an acknowledgement of troubled behavior. In fact, the actor has themselves stated that they're seeking help for their mental health issues and would like to apologize for their actions. We're at no place to say whether or not Miller's apology was sincere. They've made an apology, and that's all we know. The question on everyone's mind, however, is that will an acknowledgement of wrong be enough to halt Miller's 2023 release? Nothing else seems to do the trick. Miller's biggest role yet. Miller debuted as the DC Comics superhero The Flash in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Their role set a precedent for queer individuals looking to make a name for themselves in Hollywood. The industry will cast you in a leading role. But Miller's portrayal as The Flash in Justice League wasn't a leading role. In 2020, DC and Warner Brothers announced that Miller would reprise their role in the upcoming superhero movie, The Flash. But with Miller's itching for controversy, it seems like the movie's theatrical release wouldn't be as successful. Filming for the movie has almost wrapped up, and the movie is expected to be released in June of 2023. While DC and Warner Brothers haven't publicly acknowledged the controversy surrounding Miller, a source revealed that a meeting was held in 2022 to discuss Miller's antics and their role in the superhero universe. Could Miller's role be recast? What do you think? And that's all we have on the woeful tale of Ezra Miller's publicist. Let us know what you thought in the comments down below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more fun and informative content. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.